Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 11th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the Gulf of Alaska low churning, powering this frontal system into our area as we speak. The cloud shield is here. It's just now spreading precipitation onto some of the coastal areas. We'll be picking up the wind as we go through the day today. Cool, showery flow tomorrow with thunderstorm potential, and then we start to build a big ridge here across Pacific Northwest. Really going to dry us out and warm us up. We'll dive into those details as we go through the video this morning. Taking a look at the visible satellite imagery, you can see the sun rising across Pacific Ocean, all the cold air behind the frontal system. Doppler radars are overlaid. Still some sunshine out there across eastern Washington, Oregon. Get out there and enjoy that while you can. Here's mountain snow, southern Oregon, Crater Lake. Look at that, foot and a half. And watch out, Siskiyou Summit could have some winter driving conditions as well. You can see those snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. Here's Pendleton, Oregon, talking about some heavy snow, mainly about 4,000 feet for Oregon, 1 to 2 feet there. So heads up for that. This is Spokane National Weather Service talking about the thunderstorms. This is for tomorrow and the impacts, lightning, gusty winds, and small hail. Pretty interesting thunderstorm activity across northeast Washington yesterday. Some pretty prolific lightning producers were out and about. This is mountain snow. Just a heads up, I-90, not expecting snowfall, Highway 2. But once you get across the higher terrain, you can definitely see the winter driving conditions that'll be incoming. Breezy winds, kind of a crosswind across I-90 and Highway 2. Nothing too exceptionally strong, but just they're drawing attention to it as you go through Tuesday afternoon into the evening hours. Western Washington, we got wind advisories from the coastal areas. It's going to be windy up and down the Washington-Oregon coast towards Vancouver Island as well. And you can see we've got some winter weather advisories, some winter storm warnings, and the wind advisory includes San Juan, Western Whatcom, Western Skagit, and Admiralty Inlet area. This is from 6 p.m. this evening to 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, as we scroll through the day today, you can see the winds increase along the coastal areas and northwest interior as we go to, on in through this early afternoon towards the evening hours. And you can see some of these wind gusts into the 40s here, maybe the lower 40s for the Willamette Valley, up towards Tacoma here, maybe some blustery winds for Seattle. And look at the coastal areas, Oregon coast could be gusting up over 50, 55 miles per hour. So heads up for that. And as we scroll through the day tomorrow, you can see some continued gusty winds for eastern Washington and Oregon. Not a region-wide windstorm, but it'll get your attention, especially if you're in some of the favored areas. So composite reflectivity, this is what the Doppler radar may look like during the day today. So you can kind of see the cloud shield and the precipitation moving onshore. Nice rainy day for many areas today. We keep the onshore flow going all the way through tomorrow. We can't rule out a thunderstorm with some of these showers here as we go through Tuesday. But then watch as we go into Wednesday. We start to really reduce the precipitation amounts here, and we start to dry out as the ridge builds up over the area. More on that here in a moment. Looking at the European, we also got some wave heights off the coastline. Just heads up for that. Don't turn your back on the ocean out there. Keep your children and your pets out of the surf zone. And you can see all the way on through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, still some elevated waves, but then we're really going to build that ridge and lighten up the gradients and keep the wave action away as we go through this weekend. So heads up for that. If you're looking for waves this weekend along the coast, probably not a good time to look for that. Going to be some pretty nice weather here across much of the region. So day 2 thunderstorm outlook. It does include western Washington and eastern Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana here. These lines are not exact here. You can still get thunderstorms that occur outside of that. Those areas. Looking, this is the European, so it's calling for some lightning potential across western Washington into southwest BC and eastern Washington, Oregon also. And this is for tomorrow. So, and again, just kind of a wide view of things here, looking at the day 1 through 3, overall winter storm impacts. And a lot of this precipitation is going to be wrapping up by the time we get towards Wednesday, probably noontime. Now looking at total snow, national blend of models, let's put this into motion. Not a bad little snowmaker here as we go through tonight into tomorrow. That showery onshore activity here, piling up the snow as we go through, probably cutting off some point on the day Wednesday, maybe Wednesday afternoon, let's call it. And then we really just shut off the precipitation here for a while as the big ridge builds across the area. And we're going to be running a deficit and probably melting a lot of our snowpack here across the higher terrain as well. Now let's take a look at that. European on the left versus GFS on the right. Let's put this into motion. There goes our system, and quickly the ridge just builds and will dominate the Pacific Northwest for at least a few days. And then we've still got some disagreement in the models. You can kind of see they're working on how this ridge is going to be flattened out with maybe a system trying to swing through here. You can see the European trying to bring a bit of a trough as we go on in through next week, but then building another ridge back into the Gulf of Alaska. So we still have a lot of details to work out as we go through the extended, but we are going to warm up this weekend quite significantly here across much of the region. You're definitely going to notice that. Now looking at 925 millibars, 2,500 200 feet. Here goes our storm system. Then we have the onshore flow ongoing. But I want you to pay attention to what happens as we go on in through the day Thursday. Look at these offshore winds develop across California, Oregon, Washington. Here as the big dome of high pressure just sets up shop and really warms us up. Look at those offshore winds just blasting all the way out to the coastal areas here by the time we get towards Saturday morning. Now looking at daily 2-meter max temperatures in the National Blend of Models, and just a caution, this may actually be underdoing some of these temperatures here as we go through the extended. But by Wednesday, you can see 51 for Seattle, maybe 51, 52 for Portland. And then we go through Thursday, we start to feel the warm up here. You can see the temperatures bounce up, and then you can see Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look at that weekend. That'll be just a glorious weekend here coming up here for much of the region. That is going to be quite nice. And there could be some interesting stuff down here on the Southwest Oregon coast. You get these offshore compressional winds, and some of these temperatures could well overperform. Sometimes the models will predict 65, 70. You end up getting an 80-plus degree day there for like Brookings, Oregon, for example. So we'll have to watch out for that over the next couple of days as well. Looking at Seattle, the average temperature for this time of year is about 54, and we're going to exceed that quite a ways as we go through this weekend coming up. We're probably, I don't know if we're going to get record temperature territory here coming up. Probably not, but still, it's definitely going to be a nice stretch of weather. Now we're looking here at probability of 2-meter temperature anomaly equal to or greater than 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's go ahead and scroll ahead and through Tuesday. You can see nothing across Pacific Northwest here. Here's Wednesday afternoon, not a thing. By the time we get towards Thursday, you can see some areas starting to warm up a little bit. Friday, much more. Saturday, look at that. A lot of the area, good chance of being over 10 degrees or 10 degrees or more above normal for this time of year. Same thing for Sunday. Maybe same thing for Monday there as well. So yeah, definitely a nice stretch of weather, but that also means we're going to dry out. We're also going to warm up even aloft, and that can damage our snowpack. Now looking at 10-day precipitation anomaly here, this goes through March 24th, and you can clearly see that below average signal still exists there. And now looking at 850 millibars, I like to show this one too, 5,000 feet, let you know what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Here goes our system rolling through, and then quickly the ridge builds as we go through Thursday into Friday. And look at the offshore winds, very warm temperatures aloft, just parked right off of Vancouver and Washington, Oregon here with the offshore flow and the ridge kind of dominating. And then there's still big model disagreement on how that ridge is going to break down and what its position will be as we go on in through next week. But if we look at Seattle, Tacoma, maybe 1, 2, 3 days trying to approach 70 degrees here. And again, some question on just how long that ridge is going to hang out. This is looking at the heights at 500 millibars, and you can clearly see the ridge. This is going to dominate us for a few days, and you can see the 850 millibar temperatures warming up quite nicely. Here's Spokane International Airport. Some days could be up towards 65 degrees. Here's Astoria. I used the shorter one here as this goes out only to about Saturday afternoon. But look at this, maybe some 70-degree readings all the way out to some of the coastal areas. This is Eugene, starting to warm up here by the time you get towards the end of the week. Look at Friday and Saturday. Nice days are incoming. Brookings, Oregon. And again, caution with this. Some of these temperatures could be underdoing it here with those compressional winds. Some local areas could be pushing 80 degrees. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, west coast here above normal, below normal precipitation, 8 to 14 day above all the way through March 24th for much of the west, and then still that below average signal here across much of the Pacific Northwest. And our snowpack, we're gonna have to watch these decline, but hopefully we can do some nice snowpack building here as we go on in through a midday Wednesday before we start to build that ridge. But anyway, yeah, so something to look forward to. A nice weekend likely incoming here. We're definitely going to warm up. Confidence is very high in the development of that ridge and the nice weather, but we still have this frontal system to go through, and then the showery weather tomorrow, and then Wednesday and Thursday kind of transition days before we warm up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So anyway, I hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. Check back tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.